Come on, machine. Work with me here. All right, so getting all started up here. Yes, I know that I have it on little screen for right now, but that's just because it's like 4 minutes before, and I want to give people adequate time. Besides, I love this intro. It's so pretty. Okay, so for the purposes of having this on eventually a YouTube-y type video-y thingy, hi, my name is Asterisk Cat Yodi. I will be doing a charity stream today. The charity of the day is for Doctors Without Borders, which is an amazing group of people who go everywhere. Into war-torn countries, into places of great disaster, and regardless of political unrest, etc., they do amazing work for the sick, the injured, the destitute, the otherwise disaster-stricken. So they do amazing, amazing work, and 100% encourage anyone who is able to donate to do so. But if you are not able, please don't stress yourself, because that defeats the purpose. Major warning ahead of time. I do swear. I try to keep it to the minimum, just because I'm trying to train myself out of swearing quite as much as I normally do, but I still swear a lot, so do be aware of that. Additionally, everything that I'm going to be saying is of my own professional opinion. We like to pretend that medicine is an exact science. It's not exactly. Exact. But we like to pretend it is. So there's a lot of medical opinion from my own experience, my own education. Your mileage may vary. And as always in medicine, there are always outliers, exceptions, and mitigating circumstances. So please be aware of that. Today's topic is about pet food. Oh yeah, I forgot to put my link in. Let me put that in the chat. Doody. Hang on a second. Mild. Copy campaign URL. There we are. There it is. There's the charity thingy. I'm not very good at this. Damn it, Jim. I'm a vet tech, not a computer person thing. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, pet food is an extraordinarily controversial topic. Everybody's going to have opinions. Please be aware of that. Again, once more, I must stress your mileage may vary, but I will do my best to be as unbiased beyond medical professional opinion as I possibly can. So, with all that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and start. What? I need to make it big. Oh yeah, I need to make it big. Thank God I have my mod around here to make sure that I don't lose my head. All right, yes, A to resume. So, when last we left our hero Ori, we had just managed to fix the water tree that I can't remember the name of. Why can't I remember the name of the thing I just did? Just did it. Literally just. Oh well, it's been 2 weeks. 3 actually. So, but yes, I've managed to save the water tree, so now the water is nice and pure and I can swim in it. Yay! But I still can drown, so that's a problem. So pet food. Yes, let's start there. Why is it controversial? Let's start there. Pet food is extremely controversial for one particular reason, and that's because everybody has this weird ass opinion about dietary stuffs constantly. That's just the name of the game. Always has been like that. Always will be, probably. Are you going to fill up more wine for me? Are you giving me more wine? You're encouraging me to drink more wine? Is that supposed to... Oh, okay. Hang on a second. You want me to just down this thing? Yeah. Pardon me.
There you go.
Sorry for the drinking sounds there. I'm in the midst of moving, so I just drank like an entire glass of wine in one go out of a red Solo cup because I'm classy. As we're moving. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So everybody's got their own opinions about proper diet, not only, for themselves, but for their pets. That's just how it is. You may have heard about the whole gluten-free thing, that a lot of people are gluten intolerant. Yes, some people do have celiac disease, and yes, some people are in fact gluten intolerant, and that's a very serious condition and should be addressed. That being said, not everybody is gluten intolerant, and a lot of people who say that they are actually not. It is. Did you drink the wine before you even gave it to me? Rude. Oh, you have your own. Sorry, a little bit of side chatter there. So yeah, you've got a number of people who are like, oh my god, I can't tolerate gluten, who frankly can. And because humans, we like to anthropomorphize our animals constantly. And by that, I don't mean in the negative sense of animals have feelings or animals have emotions or any of that other stuff that we like to say when we anthropomorphize something. Oh, we're giving it human emotions. Well, dogs and cats have emotions. Okay, I'm gonna 100% stand up and say right here and now that animals do in fact feel loss. They can and do mourn. They can indeed feel joy. We've recently discovered that like rats can laugh. Okay, so I mean it's not too far too far afield, too far as fucking something, to say that animals can in fact have emotions. They feel love, for Pete's sake, and anyone who says otherwise is a freaking dunce, in my opinion. So let's leave that at the door right there. That's not what I mean when I say anthropomorphize. When I mean anthropomorphize, I mean your dog is not gluten intolerant. Is it B? Okay. Celiac disease is not something that we have ever actually encountered in dogs. Now, you might have a dog that has not a gluten allergy, a grain allergy, but the chances of that happen are actually quite minimal. When dogs and cats have allergies to a food, it's 99% of the time to the protein. It's not to say that it can't happen, but I'm just saying that it's very uncommon. Like, stupidly uncommon. So if you have an animal that has a potential food allergy, do not look at the grain being the issue. Look instead to the protein source. That is usually your culprit. 2 in 1 go! I'm awesome! So, if you have an animal that has a food allergy, such as skin lesions, it usually manifests in a skin problem. Most allergies typically do in animals. They don't have the sneezy snifflies that we do, though sometimes they do. My cat has allergies pretty badly, and he likes to sneeze so hard he knocks himself off the bed. It's hilarious, and I feel bad for laughing, but he won't let me drug him, so he gets to deal with it. But, ooh, that could have been real bad if I'd landed in spikes or something. So usually it looks like hair loss, rashes, skin lesions, exceptional itchiness, what we call pruritus. Pruritus meaning super itchy. That's usually a sign of a skin allergy. Skin allergy, just period. So if you've got an animal that's showing these sorts of signs, it's not a terrible idea to look at the food. Food allergies make up a very small percentage of actual skin problems and allergies. It's usually environmental. Sometimes systemic, but usually it's environmental. You've got dogs that are allergic to dust. One of my friends, actually, a furry friend of mine, just found out that his poor husky is allergic to just about every grass on the face of the planet, which is really bad because we are in the grass capital world. So yeah, poor girl is just miserable, but it can be managed. So if you have an animal with some kind of allergies, don't look at the food first. It's not usually the food's fault. When it is the food's fault, it's usually not the grain. It's usually the protein. So I'll start there. So when I'm saying that we anthropomorphize our animals, I say that we typically are looking at problems that humans have that animals by and large do not. That was almost my ass. So say you get your dog, or you're going to a pet store, and you've got a new puppy, and you want to put him on a good food, and you're looking at all these bags, and you're looking at all these ingredients, and you've been told that the first ingredient should be protein. Was I not supposed to? Oh, I think yeah, I already brought that down. I did that on purpose. Now that is true to an extent. Okay, I do want to say that part very specifically out loud. It's to an extent. Hang on a second. I'm going to check the. Yeah, Doctors Without Borders is kind of amazing. Oh no, failed to unscrew a wine cork. Innovation is important. So you're at the pet store and you see all of these pet food brands, and there's some with great big labels and some with, weird funky labels and pictures of wolves on them and all this other crap, and you're just kind of like, what do I pick? What am I even looking at here? Now, that's normal to feel overwhelmed, but I'm going to tell you something right off the bat. Pet food companies are in the business to sell your pet food. That's a number one cheat sheet right there. That's their job, is to sell you food. Now, that's not in and of itself a bad thing. Don't hear that as being a negative. It's good that they want to sell you food. They should be trying to sell you food. They're a food company. But when they tout themselves as being better because they have more protein, or they tout themselves as being better because they have more flavors, that's not necessarily nutritional value in terms of things, because they're going to tell you what they think you want to hear. They're not selling this to the dog. They're selling it to you. So that's important to keep in mind whenever you're trying to get anything for your pet. So remember that all the marketing is aimed at you. So you're going to see this kibbles and bits, and they're going to have pictures of, cooked chicken breast and carrots and green beans and all this other really tasty shit that your dog is really going to kind of care less about in terms of actually eating it, because he just wants to eat food, unless you have a picky bastard, but we'll get to that later. So all the marketing that you see is specifically designed to appeal to your senses, not necessarily to... Ooh. Yay. Not necessarily to what's best for your animal. Now, what I mean by that in particular at this point is that I don't want you to be swayed by a picture of a wolf on a thing and go, oh, well, this is saying that it's appealing to their natural instincts and therefore it must be superior in terms of its nutritional value. That's not necessarily true. Dogs are in fact descendants of wolves, yes, but we have changed their biology, as you might have guessed from looking at them, to such an extent that they have different nutritional requirements than standard wolf. So you can't just judge based on the appearance of what you see on the bag. If that makes any kind of sense. So that's something to keep very firmly in mind. Another thing is that the more popular the brand, that's probably because that's the more money they've put into the marketing. So if you see something that's like, oh, well, I keep seeing advertisements on TV for this, that must mean it's good, be very careful with that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's any good at all. It may actually be spending all of its money in marketing and not any money in actual research or in actual development. What I mean by that is that, like, Friskies has not changed its dietary formula in 20 years. Okay, so when you're buying cat food, keep in mind that you may actually be, Anna, you may actually be buying food that has not changed. I didn't mean to do that. Which button is it? That's that one. In quite some time, if they've been spending all their money on marketing. Energy efficiency or cinder flame. What do you think, guys? What's that? Ooh. Never mind, I know what I want. That one. Because I am constantly running out of health. So that's something important to keep in mind, is that not all medical research, dietary research is the same. So do be aware of that. And I'm going to call out a couple of brands here in particular. Blue Buffalo. Everybody loves Blue Buffalo for some weird reason. They actually are too high on their protein list. And as a result of that, plus a couple of other things, they tend to cause massive diarrhea in some of their pets. One of the things that we used to joke about, actually, when I was in a different clinic, was we'd do routine fecal exams, and we'd see just absolute shit tons of yeast, no pun intended, in the poop sample, and be like, oh, they must feed Blue Buffalo. Because there was just gobs and gobs of yeast in there. So I don't. It's just marketing. A lot of it's marketing. They had I'm trying not to call it an RX line, a prescription line. Where the hell am I supposed to? You know what? I'm just gonna warp because I don't know how else to get the hell up here. Wait, I'm supposed to go up and around. Is it that way? How do I get places? Oh. There, maybe? Sure, we'll warp there. So yeah, a lot of it's marketing. You're going to see a lot of people having their animal on Beneful. Beneful is, frankly, nutritionally speaking, not the best in the world. It's not bad. It's passable in the terms of it feeds your dog, and it's at least balanced to the minimum USDA requirement. But it's not the be-all. Hey, rude. Ow, bastard. Okay, yeah, take that. So it's not the be-all, end-all. And yet a lot of people buy it. Why do people buy it? Because the TV told them it was good for their dog. So be aware that a lot of the things that you're going to see on television are not necessarily balanced for your animal's needs. God damn it. Where's triple jump when I need it? Hey, you bastard, come here. Oh, shit. Alright, well, that failed. Fine, die. Horribly. Grr. There. That's what you get. Where was I? Oh, yes, talking about Beneful. So, when you're in the pet store, keep in mind that what you see on the label is designed specifically to appeal to you. So try not to get too hung up on what you see there. Secondly, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you know, its protein is listed really high. Protein should be high because dogs are opportunistic carnivores. They need to have a meat protein. Please don't ever feed your dog vegan. It's extremely delicate in terms of its ability. You technically can. And I use the word technically with as much emphasis as I possibly can because, Jesus Christ, that's tricky business. That's the kind of thing that you do if your dog ends up being allergic to kind of sort of literally every protein. It's not something I would ever recommend. So, oh, everything costs 2 now. Shit. So, when you see protein, keep in mind that the body can only metabolize so much protein at a go. By that I mean, say you've got a cup, and that cup holds 1 cup's worth of fluid. And you take a jar, and the jar holds a cup and a half. And you take that jar and you try to empty it into the cup, you're going to have overflow. Similarly speaking, if you try to pour a whole shit ton of protein into your animal's body, and the body can only metabolize so much of it, you're going to have overflow, and the rest of that protein is going to have to go out. Now, when I say out, that usually means that it's going out through the feces. You're going to see a lot of extraneous protein going through the gut, which isn't great for the gut, let's be honest. It's also something that you'll see in terms of going through the kidneys, which is bad business, frankly. Yes, especially for cats. Thank you, dear. Because cats have overclocked kidneys, and the more stress you put a cat's kidneys through, the more likelihood they have of developing renal failure, which, depending on the stage of renal failure, can technically be managed. But if you end up with a cat in acute renal failure, sorry, you probably have maybe a couple of months. So don't stress your cat's kidneys. Careful with that protein. That's not saying you don't want any protein. Oh shit. Oh yeah, did I mention in the recap that she's really pissed off at me? Okay, I'll try and... Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, so, yeah. So don't obsess over protein. Protein is good and should absolutely be taken into account, but it's not... I guess it's not like, oh, I want to have all the protein in the world. Oh, God! Where am I? Oh, there I am. Woo, what's this? Squee! So that's like... Nifty! Uh-oh. Never found. That sounds awful. Why am I going this way again? Okay. Oh, good God. This place is like... Vertigo City. Is it moving for anybody else's? No, it's just the shadows. Oh, God. Don't like it. Don't like it. Okay. Phew. Alright. Where was I? So, that's the first thing. Well, not the first thing. I've gone over several different other... Huh? Okay. The next thing is, people get really weird about, byproduct. Don't be afraid of byproduct. Seriously, it is not as big a thing as everybody seems to think. They're like, oh, byproduct, that's like chicken beaks and rat feet or something. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is if you have too much protein, it can cause constipation. It's just not a good... You don't want too much protein. Some protein is good, but too much protein, bad. Ow. There's spikes there. Ow! There's a bastard there! Oh, you're kidding me! Shit. I have got to learn to save more often. I'm bad at saving. So, yeah, byproduct is okay. It does actually move the screen. That's making me seasick. Stop that. Ugh. There. Take you bastards on one at a time. Haha! Eat my socks. You bastard. It's not actually doing any damage. There we go. I guess I'm used to, yeah, playing the sequel, which I beat, by the way. No spoilers. I will shut up. So, byproduct is actually things like organs. Now, to you, that may sound absolutely disgusting, but remember what I said about how marketing appeals to the person and not to the pet. So, they relabeled it as byproduct because byproduct sounds nice and simple and not scary. But what you fail to remember when you think of that necessarily is as a dog, or any other canid for that matter, or even as a cat, organs are part of the diet. That's just kind of something that they have. When a cat eats a mouse, they generally eat the whole mouse. They don't gut the mouse first and then eat it. They don't dress it, to use hunters' terms. Same thing with dogs. They usually go for the viscera first. Actually, one of the things that we saw frequently in Africa was that when a hunt was complete, they would typically go for ow, bastards, ow, fucker. They would typically go for the gut first so that they could open up that soft spot and get to all the viscera, because that's where a lot of the nutrients are. I mean, everybody says, oh, yeah, chicken livers or whatever the hell are super nutritious and you should have them as part of your diet. Ow, fucker. And they are right. You know, livers are a great source of vitamin A. You don't want to have polar bear liver because it's so full of vitamin A that it'll actually kill you. But speaking of dying, am I not supposed to go this way? Oh, there's no fucking map here. Right, because it messes with everybody's heads, of course. Shit. Alright, hold the button down. Boing! Fuck. Why can I not... There. Oh, shit. Fuck. Goddamn piece of shit. Ah! Bastard! Alright, I'm trying so hard. Ah! Don't eat me. Alright, so. Sorry, a little bit of... Ow! Snake-eye concentration on this part, apparently. Son of a bitch. Oh, you better not, you little... Fine, I'll use that. That's what you get. Alright, I'm gonna save it so I don't have to do that shit again. So, yeah, like, you've got a lot of different things in organs that are really good for you. Hearts, lungs, liver, a lot of that stuff is just really good for the body in terms of nutrition. And animals will eat those. I mean, we think, ew, gross, you're eating, chicken hearts or whatever, but, it's actually good, though. I don't mean tasty, I mean, I don't know, maybe chicken hearts are tasty. I've never had one, except in gravy. Sorry, I'm saying a lot again, aren't I? So, byproduct is not something that you should be terrified of. If you see a thing that says, so much percentage byproduct, don't freak out. It's not... This is... What the... Everything's changing. I don't know where I am. Fuck you, frog. You should have died with that. Yeah, that's what you get. So, yeah, byproducts, not a bad thing. Don't freak out about them. Yeah, we'll go with that. And for whatever reason, there's been a lot of marketing in that regard that byproducts are... Whoa. Okay. Now, how do I get there? Not that way, apparently. Is there like a... No? Okay. This place keeps changing and I don't like it. Also, this fisheye effect is really making my seasickness swimmy. Hope nobody else is getting nauseous. Fuck! Shit! Goddamn piece of... Ow! Fuck! Okay. I think I have to go back over here and have sign be like, oh, hey, yeah, it's a thing. And then I'll just go back over here and save it again. There, so I don't have to do it again. Let's see. Byproduct, good. Protein, manage, but don't go overboard. Let's talk about protein sources. So there's the common ones that everybody knows. Things like beef and chicken and... Fuck! Fuck is not a protein. There's chicken and beef and sometimes pork. You'll sometimes see pork in there. But you'll also see things that are advertised like lamb or duck, venison, rabbit. Those are what are considered novel proteins. Generally speaking, if you have an animal with any kind of... Shit, balls, fuck, son of a... Thank you. Ha! Asshole, victory is mine. Shit, and now... Yep, I just totally did that to myself on purpose. Nonsense, you don't need a new cork. Just drink the whole bottle, then you don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, novel proteins, generally speaking, will have fewer skin allergy problems. The top skin allergies that we see are almost exclusively caused by things like beef and chicken, frankly. I've seen far more animals allergic to beef and or chicken than I have to almost any other protein source. So if you have an animal that's having an allergic reaction to their food, if you know that it is, or you suspect, I have worked for you, Emma can drink the whole bottle. Nonsense! Okay, maybe. Sorry, I'm a bad influence. Anyway, so yeah, try switching up the protein. Try to go for a more novel protein, like move away from pork, chicken, or beef and go for lamb or duck or fish even is a good one usually. You'll typically not see a lot of reactions to fish. In fact, fish is usually really good, especially for skin allergies, because you'll have an animal that not only reacts less to their food, but also is getting now, like, the, what do they call those things? Omega-3s? There you go. The omega-3 fatty acids that are good for skin. So that's always something to keep in mind. Was I supposed to keep going that way? I was supposed to keep going that way. Shit. So that's something to consider. Also, a word on omega-3 fatty acids. I always endorse them. There's no downside. There's only upsides. Just make sure you're not giving your animal or yourself so much that you basically grease your insides and your shit starts coming out with grease rockets. Legit knew a lady who did that. That was hilarious. She was just popping them like they were candy because she heard that it was good for her, and so she did what she thought she was supposed to do, which is just take them. Just eat them like popcorn, and kind of literally greased her insides. So do that in moderation. Don't just give your dog like a bowl of omega-3 fatty acid juice. It's just not a good idea. Where the fuck am I? Ooh! That's so sad. Oh, hell yes. Now I don't have to wall jump fucking all the time. I can just... like that. Victory is mine, bitches. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Okay, maybe I should save it first. Ah! Shit! Oh! That's why I saved it. So apparently every time you save, or not every time you save, apparently every time you jump off a surface that closes. Okay, good to know. Urf. So, yeah, still no map. What else was I talking about? We talked about proteins, talked about byproducts, we talked about marketing, and hey, I don't know who you are, but don't touch me! Okay. The fuck do I... Oh. No shit! Shit! Fuck! Piss! God damn it! Ah! This is me trying not to swear. I'm sorry. Ah! Yeah, so when I tell people that I swear, I really mean that I swear a lot. It's actually problematic. I don't mean for it to be, but it is. So, where was I? There. Now I've saved, so if I die horribly again, I won't have to go through all of that. Oh god! You again. Here, go die over there. Okay. Oh, I haven't listed good options. That's a good point. Okay, so good options. Good point. Multiple press points. So, thank you, Kua, for not only being my mod, but ow, son of a biscuit, but also my my prompt here. So, there are good foods out there. Don't say, oh well, you know, gosh, Asterisk is telling me that these are all shit foods. I can't buy anything. That's not true. There are plenty of good foods out there. And just because things like Beneful are not the best in the world doesn't mean that they are crap. The most important thing is your animal eating it? Because frankly, so many animals are so freaking picky that if you find something that they will eat and they are picky and they won't necessarily eat anything else, consider it a victory and move on. Oh no. Yep. That was bound to happen. Because with cats in particular, finding something for them to eat and consistently is already hard enough. With my 3, they're each semi-special needs. Didn't know that when we got them. One has chronic constipation issues and skin allergies. And then one has IBS. Son of a bitch. And one has had urinary... Yeah, the best answer. That's my life. Like this one right now that I'm just gonna... I can't stop it. So, cats in particular, my other boy, or my other cat... Why can't I just jump that? Has had bladder stones since the ripe old age of, 1.5. So he has to be on a special diet. They all do. And as a result, I've had to explore the options within the very limited category of prescription diets to find the thing that they like and will eat, because they're all picky bastards. Okay, the boy is not picky. The girls are picky as shit, and it drives me nuts. So, with cats in particular, this is the thing, because cats can only go for so long without eating before they develop what's called hepatic lipidosis. Their liver literally starts to break down. So you gotta make sure that they eat. So if you find something, even if it's fucking Friskies, I don't care, as long as they're eating. That's the important thing. The rest can, go to see on a screen door, and I don't care, as long as they're eating. God fucking... What the shit? Son of a... What do you even... What is going on? Okay. There. God damn. And then I think I'm supposed to just... Oh, of course. And everything moves again. God damn it. I hate this forest. I'm gonna die. No, don't spit at me, you asshole. So, yes, in terms of good foods. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, leap of faith. There are good ones. Let's go from most expensive to least expensive. Royal Canin is a good one. And I say that with all the love in my heart because they don't advertise at all. They're run by a bunch of veterinarians who do a lot of research in terms of the actual dietary care. So, yeah, you die. Die on those spikes. That's what you get. Shit. No, wait. I wanted that. Fuck. Goddamn. There. Phew. So, Royal Canin's really good. Hill's Science Diet is also really good. They had for a period of time where they weren't really good. Similarly, though, they do a lot of research. Ouch. And actually are trying to actually create diets that work for the animal that they are specifically designing the diet for. By that I mean, is the animal a certain age? Is the animal a certain weight? Does it need weight loss? Is the animal constrained by some kind of medical problem? Do they have diabetes? Do they have renal failure? Do they have seizures? There are diets now for seizures. That's huge to me. It's fairly new, but they have things that that actually do help with seizure activity. And ow, God, damn it. So Hill Science Diet and Royal Canin definitely get my top recommendations. That being said, they are extremely expensive because they are that good. That's what happens when you have diets that are designed by veterinarians. Is that they tend to be a little bit more on the pricey side. But oh, son of a bitch! Why did I rocket into the spikes? That was really dumb. The further down you go in terms of price point, you usually do get what you pay for, but that's also something that you want to be careful of because sometimes the less good ones will be like, oh, hey, look, we're good because we're expensive. Things like Blue Buffalo, for example, or really Blue Diamond is another one. I wouldn't recommend either of those, obviously. They're not as good as they pretend they are. Son of a bitch. Why did I just... Okay, I'm dead. So there's nothing up there. Why am I even... Is it up that way? Or is it over that way? Yeah. It is up that way. How do I get there? God damn it. So, how do I get up to the... Sorry, I'm getting distracted by this thing up here. There we go. That's not the button I wanted. Alright, sorry. Derailed myself there. There are some budget brand ones that are not too bad. Things like Authority aren't terrible. And I'm dead again, aren't I? Yep. Awesome sauce. Oh, seriously, I didn't... Ugh. Yeah, that's actually not a... Ow. Not a bad rule of thumb. The more it advertises, the more money they're spending on marketing and the less they're spending on the actual product. Which obviously is not what you want. Authority's not bad. Nature Balance isn't bad. Oh yeah, Purina. Purina's... Why did I forget Purina? Purina's a really good one. They do have a big spread of budget. Actually, pretty much everything has a spread of budget if you really look close enough, because even Royal Canin, which one of the ones I was saying is amazing, they own Caesar, which, if you remember, that's the little canned one with the West Island Terrier face on it. And it's like pre-packaged little plastic things, and it's like, it's McDonald's dog food, essentially. So every line has their well, most of them have their high, low, and mid-range. So if you do your research, you can usually find which are which. I'm going to die, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Let me find a place to do that and regenerate 2 thingies. So, oh, what the fuck? Well, that didn't work. And then this. Okay, maybe I'm doing this wrong. I don't. Son of a. Well, don't just run into it, you dingbat. Maybe if I. Here, I'll come over here and save again, give myself a little bit more health. There's just no way of not running my face into that, apparently. Are you kidding me? Story of my life. Oh, seriously, and that time I cleared it. What the hell? Well, that time I didn't. So, do your research in that regard. You should be able to find things that aren't going to break your balance or break your budget. Nature's Balance is pretty good. Taste of the Wild is okay. And obviously your mileage may vary depending on what country you're in. Not all pet foods are created equal in that regard. But yeah, look into the company and see how much research they actually do. One good trick is to check and see whether or not they have a prescription diet line. That does not work for Blue Buffalo. They have a prescription diet line, and I still wouldn't recommend them. Actually, pretty much every veterinarian I knew when that first came to light, they were like, oh yeah, Blue Buffalo is going to be bringing out a veterinary prescription line. We were like, yeah, right, good luck finding a veterinarian who will prescribe it. So, we'll bring you back to that situation of you being in a pet store and you're looking for dog food. Don't go for the raw diets. And that's going to be a controversial take. I hate the fact that that's controversial, but please don't go for raw diets. A lot of people are like, oh, but it's more natural. Oh, it's more nutritious because it's more raw. That's not actually true. Oh my god, I'm back down here again. I hate my life. All right, no, I don't. I actually really enjoy my life. My life's pretty cool. No! Fuck. So, yeah, don't go for raw. For one thing, raw along with grain-free diets, I'll touch on this briefly, have been linked to cardiomyopathies in dogs. We haven't seen anything in cats yet. That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in cats. It just means that we haven't seen anything in cats. We're not sure 100% why. Save early, save often. No shit. If I only learned from the first 18 million times that I died and had to come back and do this all over again. There. Save over there. Words of gaining wisdom that I have long since forgotten, apparently. No longer able to call myself a true gamer. Raw diets are implicated in this cardiomyopathy recently anyway. It's not something that was commonly known. One of the more recent things that we saw was the grain-free diets and the cardiomyopathies. For those of you who don't speak medicine, cardiomyopathy basically means heart problem. It's cardiomegaly is what it is. Basically, the heart enlarges. That was smart. So, do be aware of that. If your animal is already on a grain-free diet, you might want to have them checked by a vet just to make sure that they aren't suddenly developing a cardiomegaly. Like I said, we haven't seen it in cats yet. That doesn't mean that it... Fucking seriously. That doesn't mean that it's not happening in cats. But that being the case, after we thought we were narrowing it down, and I'm dead, we were like, oh, well, you know, it must be connected to these things. Maybe it's connected to legumes. Maybe it's connected to potatoes or to soy. We were like, okay, we're getting a handle on this. Nope, we were not getting a handle on this. And that's when we discovered that boutique diets, like Rachel Ray, and raw diets and grain-free diets, all were having these problems with cardiomegaly. So if you don't want your dog or cat to develop a cardiomyopathy, please be wary of raw or grain-free. Ow! Fucking hell. Wah! Shit! Fuck! Ow! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you anxiety because of my bad saving. You're over it. Okay, good. So, that's the first thing, is be very careful when you're buying foods to make sure that you're not looking at those fats. Again, coming back to the anthropomorphizing of animals, they're appealing to what we think is amazing and delicious and wonderful. So that includes things like, oh, it's grain-free, because the grain-free fad, it started right around the same time. They started advertising grain-free dog foods and cat foods. Oh, shit, son. Around the same time that they were seeing a rise in the... Alright, you know what? You guys suck. There. Take that, you asshole. Alright, one down. Nope. That was not the button I wanted. That wasn't the button I wanted either. Shit. But yeah. Raw diets, we think, you know, the animal is a wild animal. They're not actually. And especially if it's a raw diet that's actually raw, that's a big bad no-no, because dogs and cats can get salmonella poisoning just as easily as we can. There's a number of parasites transferred by meat, their eggs, etc., that we can get, that they can also get. So I would say raw diets are not the best. So there's that. There's the grain-free part. Let me see. How many other people can I piss off? God, I'm trying to think here now. Ow! Son of a bitch. Eh. No, it's gonna... in the ass. And whew, there we go. Do I have... Yes! I still have my ability to kick your ass. Ow. Except I just... Don't say it, Kua. Just do not say it. Uh-huh. So, does anybody have any questions so far? Getting an evil tone of voice and you didn't even say anything. I could hear you thinking it from across the room. There. Now let's try to do this without getting my ass kicked this time. I'm sorry. She's still back in the States? So let's see. Any advice on... Ow! Fuck, there's spikes there. Treats. Let's see. Treats... Treats go for the same thing. Be careful with your treats, because treats can be very high in calorie, much like human treats. So you don't want to feed them all the time. You can actually use kibbles if you have a non-picky animal as training rewards and or as treats. There are actually dental diets out there that if your cat is on a, or your cat or dog is on a particular... Aww. Hey, you couldn't help what you couldn't help, right? I mean, if that was the situation, then... Ooh, plot point. Burn away the evil, obscuring mist so that I can actually see where the hell I'm going. Ooh! Suddenly floating rocks? Neat. Good, because otherwise I'm going to get lost. God knows I get lost already. Oh, human food. Oh, that's a really good one. Okay, so human food. Don't feed your animal human food. Um, I know a lot of people are like, oh, but, you know, my animal does fine on XYZ. Nothing is going to be as good for your animal as straight up balanced for their needs pet food. Boy, I almost contradicted the fuck out of myself on that one. I say that because there are people out there who will try to cook for their animal, and that's fine, but without the guidance of an actual licensed veterinarian, you are asking for a world of hurt. I'm just saying this from a place of love. I want your animal to be safe. I want you to be safe. I want everybody's animals to be as healthy and long-lived as they possibly can be. Please don't feed your animal human food. A lot of animals will try to convince you that food equals love. I know that struggle. I have a food bag of a cat, but he needs to not eat people food as much as he wants to. Oh, yeah, deathly allergic to animals. You can't have that. So, some things that are easy to find on the internet, pet foods are foods that you can't feed your pet at all. Anything in the onion family that includes garlic. No, garlic is not a good substitute for an actual flea medication. I know a lot of people who have made the mistake of trying to feed their pets garlic to try to prevent fleas, under the idea that fleas don't like, or any bloodsuckers do not like garlic-tinged blood. And while there is logic to that, it is incorrect logic. It will lead to liver and no, fleas are vampires, but they don't. Yeah, just don't. Ouch. Why can't I like do the jump off those things? That's really annoying. So, yeah, nothing in the onion family. Just period, flat out. Raisins are toxic as shit. We 100% do not know why yet. We're not sure if it's because of something that gets sprayed on them, or if it's something that they possess within them particularly. We're just not 100% sure. We do not know. So please don't ever, ever, ever let your animal have raisins. Same goes for grapes. We don't know. We just don't. So please be very, very, very careful. Do not let your animal have... Ow, fuck me. Boy, did I go into the wrong area. Fucking hell. Oh, hey, cool. Look at this. Ooh. Shiny. Same thing. Cheese, dairy products. Cats and dogs are actually lactose intolerant. Those who can digest lactose are actually mutants, because we never shut off the lactase inhibitor. When you are born, you have an enzyme called lactase that allows you to digest milk. Otherwise, you would be allergic to your own mother's milk, and that's a problem. So the body is like, hey, cool, so you don't need this anymore. We're just going to shut this off and stop creating lactase when you are officially weaned. Dogs and cats never developed this, and so they are technically all lactose intolerant. Anybody who's lactose intolerant is actually normal, if that makes any sense. But if you still continue to... Ow, fuck. If you can continue to digest lactose without any problems, if you are not lactose intolerant, consider yourself a mutant, and thank your liver, because your liver is the reason that you can digest lactose. So don't give your cats milk, don't give your cats cheese. Technically, it'll give them... Yes, it is terrible. They will get diarrhea, and it's a problem. Don't give your cats milk. Same thing with cheese. Let's see. What else? Oh, before I forget, this is a particularly sensitive topic that I really wanted to bring up during this particular broadcast. I don't know where the hell the stereotype that veterinarians only take like 2 hours of nutrition courses, that is such a load of bullshit. I take more hours in classes on the subject. And veterinarians know so much more than I do on the subject because they have to take hours and hours and hours and hours of classes just in vet school. And that's not including all of the shit that they have to do after vet school because there's this thing called CE. And if any veterinarian wants to make any money, they really should know their diets that are available, particularly diets that are like prescription level, because of things like, say, the cardiomyopathy that's going on. So when you've got people who are like, you can't trust a veterinarian's opinion because the veterinarian only takes like 1 hour worth of, nutritional courses or whatever, that is such a load of horse shit. Those people's opinions automatically do not matter. I am sorry. That is just the pure fucking facts. I don't know where that fucking shit came from, but it is absolutely bullshit. Do not listen to those people. That is crap. I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it because it is so false and it has hurt so many people. And by people, I mean their pets, because they don't listen to their veterinarian. And they're like, well, I feed my dog, exclusively raw or whatever, or I cook his own meals at home without the guidance of a veterinarian. And it's like, you are going to cause so many problems for your animal later in life. That is, as you can tell, is a point of serious contention for me, and it gives me small rise in blood pressure every single time. So that's fun. We're just at about time at this juncture. So does anybody have anything else that they would like to add? Why am I going down this way? This is a stupid way. This is a really stupid way. Why am I going that way? By the way, if you haven't played this game, do so. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I love it. It's even better when you're playing it yourself, partly because of the fact that, well, you get to have the experience. You get to do whatever you want to do. But even more importantly, it's extremely immersive when you're playing it and you don't have somebody like me talking over it the whole time. So I would 100% recommend, especially since the sequel just came out. And the sequel is just as beautiful and amazing. So, if you can, I would play. Ow, fuckers are still alive. I would play this game, learn it, love it. It's challenging. I won't lie. It's a fairly challenging platformer, but it's challenging in a good way. So, there's a save point right over there. Okay. So I would strongly suggest playing this, especially since there's a sequel out. The sequel is just as good, just as challenging, though you can choose a particular mode. It is called Ori and the Blind Forest. ORI is his name, Ori. And it's available on Steam. I'm playing the definitive version. Oh dear. I'm playing the definitive version. It's got an extra level in it that you will see later in my broadcasts because I haven't gotten there yet. And it's just flippin' gorgeous. So would 100% recommend Ori and the Blind Forest. The sequel is called Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Do not play the second one until you have played the first one all the way through, or you have seen this broadcast play to its completion, because there are plot points that you will need to have to understand. Major spoilers, huge spoilers if you do not play the first game after you play the second game. So that being the case, that's it for the evening. Does anybody have any last minute questions before we call it a night? Yay! Yes, it's very good. If it goes on sale every once in a while. I got the definitive version when it was on sale. I don't remember how much it was, but it was really inexpensive. So we did buy the first game twice. That's how good it is. I love this game. I love it so much. Yeah. So thank you for. Oh. What time is love? Love isn't always on time, if I may borrow that from Toto. Anyway, so that why are things? Well, I don't know. Mostly, I have the question of why are people, but that'll do. How can you even? Okay. I meant questions pertaining to veterinary stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Everybody, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I hope that my swearing didn't turn you off too much. I have had 2 glasses of wine now, so that may have caused part of the problems and probably why I died quite as often as I did. But that being said, I hope I didn't piss anybody off too terribly much in regards to their food opinions. Just remember to always read your what do they call those? Oh, we got one more. Wait, very important question. Yeah, always read your labels and listen to your veterinarians. Your mileage may vary. Would? Yes. For anybody who does not get that particular reference, Alice in Chains happens to be my very, very favorite band ever. So one of my favorite songs of theirs is Wood, and every time I've seen them in concert, they've always played it, and it's badass. So 2 weeks from now, I will be streaming again. I will be putting up a poll on what the next topic should be. I'm going to keep the charity available as Doctors Without Borders for the next week or so, in case anybody wants to continue to donate and they don't get paid until a little ways from now, because everybody needs a little bit of help right now. So stay safe, stay home, save lives, wear a mask in public, wash your hands, and keep your cats indoors. I may do a little bit more on the COVID virus as it pertains to cats as that develops. You often work Mondays. Okay. That's okay. Hearts. I'm sending you hearts. So that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for joining me. Have a good night. Get some sleep. Get some rest. Eat food. Drink water. Go pee. Mwah.